Welcome, this is David. Thank you very much for your time. Now let's get introduced into this chapter. So this is just going to be a very quick short introduction and let's get started. So the course says this. The Bible says that you should go with a brother twice as far as he asks. It certainly does not suggest that you set him back on his journey. Devotion to a brother cannot set you back either. It can lead only to mutual progress. The result of genuine devotion is inspiration. A word which properly understood is the opposite of fatigue. So let's stop there for a brief moment. So basically it's just saying that sharing results in mutual progress. And that's it. And genuine devotion or genuine sharing, genuine devotion to a brother results not in being tired. It results in inspiration. And I think we've all had those kinds of moments whereby just by being two and having a real genuine communion with another person, you actually felt inspired rather than tired. Okay? So let's continue. To be fatigued is to be dispirited, but to be inspired is to be in the spirit. To be egocentric is to be dispirited, but to be self-centered in the right sense is to be inspired or in spirit. The truly inspired are enlightened and cannot abide in darkness. So you can basically, that first slide was just, in my sense, advocating and trying to let us know that right from the very foundation, devotion to one another in the right sense can only lift all of us up. So that I think it's trying to dispel the idea that, because quite often we might think that, oh my God, I don't have time for others. I just have to sort out my problems first, and that kind of a approach of, to life. But it's saying, you know what, forget the whole idea that there is a scarcity when you share or when you give your time and devote yourself to a brother. It actually multiplies. Okay, so let's continue. You can speak from the spirit or from the ego, as you choose. If you speak from spirit, you have chosen to be still and know that I am your creator. Okay. These words are inspired because they reflect knowledge. If you speak from the ego, you are disclaiming knowledge instead of affirming it, and are thus dispiriting yourself. Do not embark on useless journeys because they are indeed in vain. The ego may desire them, but spirit cannot embark on them because it is forever unwilling to depart from its foundation. Again, this is just the introduction, so it's not that deep. We don't really need to get into it and discuss much of it. We'll get into deeper discussions as we get into the chapter properly. But just real quick, once again, the take from this slide is that your ego. And remember, the ego is that part of the mind that believes it is separate. That's all the ego is. Your ego may desire in these useless journeys, okay? Useless journeys. But the spirit can never join you on such useless journeys because it is forever unwilling to be to not be what it really is. It is never going to join the ego. It's never going to deny its true identity. It's not willing to depart from its foundations. So when you take upon a useless journey as an ego, know that you're by yourself. And just imagine, why would you want to do that? I mean, it's such a dispirited position. Now, do you see why they were talking about, they're using the word dispiriting yourself? They're talking about it literally. Okay, it's not like they're not saying you're demotivating yourself. They're literally saying you're dispiriting yourself, because the spirit cannot embark on a useless journey with your ego. It will never do that. So if you go on one of those, you're going without your spirit. Therefore, you're going on such a useless journey with zero power. In that sense, The journey to the cross should be the last useless journey. Okay, again, this is a biblical reference. The course is not Christian. We've already said this several times, but it's always worth repeating. But it does use biblical references for the sake of making a point. So this here is a biblical reference. The journey to the cross should be the last useless journey. Do not dwell upon it, okay, but dismiss it as accomplished. You don't need to go making statues and of crosses and worshiping that whole thing. It's the cause is saying it is a useless journey, but it should be the last one. Okay. If you can accept it as your own last useless journey, you're also free to join my resurrection. Until you do so, your life is indeed wasted. It merely reenacts the separation, the loss of power, the futile attempts of the ego at reparation, and finally the crucifixion of the body or death. Such repetitions are endless until they are voluntarily given up. Do not make the pathetic error of clinging to the old rugged cross. Let's just finish this paragraph and then we'll discuss it. The only message of the crucifixion is that you can overcome the cross. Until then, you are free to crucify yourself as often as you choose. This is not the gospel I intended to offer you. We have another journey to undertake, and if you read these lessons carefully, they will help prepare you to undertake it. So, here we sort of come to the end of this introduction, and if you notice, the whole of it was preparing you for the coming lesson. And right here, all it's saying is that all these journeys that the ego keeps taking, this, we sometimes, have you ever noticed in your life that sometimes you feel like you're living in a circle or a pattern, an endless pattern that keeps repeating itself, or a cycle that, you keep going through the same old, just in different times and different clothes and everything, but it's the same old. Yeah. These are useless journeys of the ego. This is what the introduction is talking about. And it's saying that even that whole idea, the whole crucifixion journey that you know of in the Bible, okay? The crucifixion of the body and then the death and everything, that's still another useless journey. And it's suggesting that that should be the last useless journey, because all these things are merely reenacting the idea of separation. Anything that reenacts the idea of separation, no matter how glorious it sounds, is a useless journey. Okay? And it's suggesting here that the only message of the crucifixion is that you can overcome the cross. Okay? The only message of the crucifixion is that you can overcome death and this whole cycle and this whole sacrifice and the whole suffering and everything. So it's suggesting that's the only thing you should take away from that whole, the crucifixion. And again, this is a biblical reference, but I'm sure you can, whether or not you're Christian or not, you can at least understand the lesson from that angle. The crucifixion it's a sacrifice. It's, in fact, according to Christianity, it's the ultimate sacrifice, that for God so loved the world that he gave his only son to be sacrificed, And here the course is saying that was the last useless journey, So, and it's saying here that the only message that you should take from that is that you can overcome useless journeys. Yeah, and it's saying until you take the point that you can overcome such useless journeys, you're going to crucify yourself over and over and as often as you choose. And now it's saying there's another journey to undertake. Yeah, and if you understand this chapter carefully, then it will help you prepare for that real journey, a journey that is not a useless journey. Okay. So that's the introduction. Let's get into the real chapter now. Okay, the real flesh of it, so to speak.